having the session class for 2 hours, so I won't dwell so much like I did on user persona. So we've talked about creating talking about creating a user persona. Let me just confirm that this is recording, because sometimes, okay, yeah, it's recording. So we shoot. So we've talked about creating user personas. So now we're talking about how to create a business model. How do we create a model to generate revenue? I don't know, every business aside an NGO, right? Every business wants to make money, right? Don't mind what Google or Apple or Microsoft or any company will tell you, that they're trying to, our aim is to build a world or build a solution. Leave all those jargons. Their aim is to take your money and my money. That's their number one goal. That's the number one goal of every business that exists in the world. How can I take Nocera, Izana, and Genesis money from their pocket? How can I make them to collect? How can I collect their money from them? That is their goal. So revenue is the number one thing that every business wants, every business lives upon. And how do you understand ways to get your revenue? Basically, need a business model for that. And having the right business model will help you. Sorry, hold on. I have a call. So sorry. I was trying to give someone direction, so the person is kind of lost. All right. Creating a business model. So every business wants to make money, right? And business model is something that they use to see how to make money and where their funds will be leaking to. So today we're looking at how do we create a business model for every business and any business, whether it's a big business or a small micro business, right? Could be a small micro business as you buying shoes on the island and selling to people on your WhatsApp status by snapping the shoes, posting on your status, talking about the price. Could be as small as that business. You need a business model for that to succeed. So every business needs a business model. So we're looking at how to create a business model. And to start, I want to ask you people the question. Starting with, they say ladies first, starting with Nosira. What is a business model? From your understanding, from this short explanation I'm giving today, what is a business model?
Okay, I would say a business model is a way and a business owner wants his business to how he wants his business to go, or like a structure. Can be a structure on how he wants his business to run. I don't know if it makes sense.
Okay, cool. Nice one. Izana. Should I call you Izana or Obed? Which one do you prefer?
Obed or Uche is preferable, sir.
Okay, Obed or Uche? Okay, go ahead.
Yes, Ezana is my family listening. Yes, a business model to me is like the way a business owner portrays his or her business to the public glare. How a business is fair. I'm saying this from the modeling world, the fashion modeling world. Just like the way a business is portrayed, everything about the business, how customers in turn will perceive the business. I think that's what business modeling is all about.
Okay, nice one, good one. So also note that I'll be calling you Obed. Why I call you Ezana is because when I asked you to fill the form, it was Ezana you put there. So I thought maybe that is your name, and that's why I had to use it as Ezana. That's why they tell people to fill the form
Oh,
so that I can use it to create your accounts. So when you're filling the form, the registration form, you wrote Ezana. So okay, cool.
okay.
Yeah.
No, it's Eziana Obed.
Okay. Okay, so I'll be calling you Obed then. Obed. So thank you for that explanation, Obed. So um, there's no right or wrong answer. You both are right, yeah, right? So what is a business model? Just to harmonize and have things put in shape. The business model basically is a plan for the profitable operation of a business. And how do we ensure that how do we plan that profitable operation of that business? By identifying sources of revenue, identifying our intended customer, identifying what products to give to them, and identifying the details of financing, how you're going to finance that particular business. Business model tells us how the key drivers of business perfectly fit together. At a glance, you provides an information on how you deliver value to your customer by looking at the revenue levers and the cost levers. What are the things that will incur costs to the business? What are the things that will generate revenue for the business? That basically are the things that business model canvas looks at. It helps to identify products or services the business plans to sell, the markets, and the anticipated expenses. Business models, simply put, can be seen as everything it takes to make something. Can also be seen as everything it takes to sell that particular thing. And also, it talks about how and what the customer will need to pay. So everything we need to do to make something happen as a business is in our business model. Everything we need to do to sell that business or sell that idea is in our business model. And how our customer pay and what they pay for is also on our business model. So there are different types of business models that we have today. We have advertising business model, affiliate, brokerage, concierge, crowdsourcing, disintermediation, fractionalization, franchising, freemium, leasing, low touch, marketplace, pay as you go, razor blade, reverse auction, even subscription model. But let's take a look at the top 5 or 6 common business models that we have, right? The top 5 business model, right? Number 1 is subscription-based business model, right? I know that in one way or the other, you have subscribed to a particular product and services. So who can tell me one of the products and services that you have subscribed to, maybe in the last 1 year or in the last 3 months or in the last 1 month, or you are currently subscribing to?
We can say like DSTV or this.
Fantastic. So Nusira, for yourself, tell me 2 products or services you have subscribed to or you and your family are currently subscribed to.
Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi.
Data services, right?
Data services, yes. Data services.
Sure, that one.
Like I just said, like DSTV, like I got this TV.
Cable TV, right?
Cable TV. Yes, cable TV. Yes.
Fantastic. So that is what they call subscription model. You are subscribed to their services, right? And the services have different range. You can subscribe for just the classic, premium, basic, depending, right? That is how subscription model has. It has different range. So subscription model is basically, in this model, consumers get charged a subscription fee to get access to a service. So because I want to have internet service, I want to have access to internet, I need to subscribe, right? Because I want to, those of us in Nigeria, because I want to watch European football, right? And also watch international news stations or international stations, I have to subscribe and I need to pay subscription fee. For DSTV, they have different subscription fee, right? For family, access, compact plus, premium. So depending on the number of stations and type of activities you want to engage on DSTV, you will subscribe or whatever plan you wish, right? Another type of revenue model. So now in this subscription model, the business is basically making money from that subscription fee they are charging you. That is how they make money. So that is the model they're using to generate money for the business, subscription fee, right? Now, another business model we have is marketplace. For this one, okay, I forgot to ask Izana, right? Izana, so which subscription service are you currently using at the moment? Or which product services are you currently paying subscription fee for?
Okay, for antivirus and Netflix.
Oh, Netflix, right? So you pay for Netflix services. Are you paying for the 4,000 naira one or the other one?
4,000 naira, the lowest one.
So for Netflix, the plan you are will determine the quality of the movies, right? The quality of the movies you're going to have, if it is 4K, HD, or thereabouts. So
yes,
they charge you for that subscription fee for you to have access to their service, and not just access to their service, to a particular plan or level or grade of their service. If you want a larger, all-encompassing service delivery, you pay for the premium plan. Now, another business model is a marketplace business model. This basically allows sellers to list items for sale and provide customers with easy tools for connecting with sellers. A good example of a company that uses marketplace business model is Jumia, Amazon, Alibaba, right? AliExpress. They all use marketplace. When Jumia started off, Jumia don't even have a warehouse. All they do is to connect sellers to what? Buyers. And in turn, they charge commission. So for a seller, they might charge the seller, who is the merchant that is trying to place their products on their platform, for advert placement fee. And then they could, if they don't want to charge advert placement fee, they can charge commission fee, whereby a seller places an item and the price of that item the seller wants to place that item for is 2,000 naira. The seller will put 2,000 naira. Jumia might display 2,500 or 3,000 naira. The buyer pays 3,000 naira. The seller delivers the goods. Jumia pays the seller their 2,000 naira, collects their 1,000 naira, or collects their 500 naira. That's commission fee, right? Another company that charges this, that works like a marketplace. It came into my head when I was talking about this Jumia stuff. The company actually came into my head when I was talking about this Jumia stuff. So then when it comes to my head, when it comes back, I will talk about the company. So there are different companies that are.
What about Facebook Market? Is it also?
Yes, Facebook Marketplace as well. Bringing buyers and sellers. They have nothing to do with who the buyer. All they have to do is just to ensure that the buyer is someone that's trustworthy. Another one is Airbnb. Airbnb does not have any house. They don't have houses around the world. All they do is to bring home owners, house owners to guests, bring them, connect them to guests, and then charge a fee. So they're basically, their concern is to build a platform where these two people can meet. Remember, in the markets, in the traditional marketplace in those days, nobody lives in the markets. No seller out there lives in the market. A market does not have its own specific goods or specific. You will say that K2 market has fish. Ikorodu market don't have fish. No. If sellers in K2 market decide to stop, if fish sellers in K2 market decides to stop selling in K2 market and start selling in Ikorodu market, you now say that K2 market no longer have fish. So all market does is provide that avenue, that platform for buyers and sellers to meet together and communicate, then charge on the commission. So that is what most businesses are doing today, trying to bring buyers and sellers together and give them the enabling environment to transact, to trade. Because the world, commerce is what drives the world, right? Everybody wants to trade, everyone wants to buy and sell, right? And if I want to buy what you sell and I can't come to your shop and you can't come to my house to market, then let me go to Jumia, where I can easily access you from Jumia, right? So a marketplace business basically brings buyers and sellers, ensuring that there's an enabling platform for them to transact. Now, we also have the freemium business model. A freemium business model such as WhatsApp. WhatsApp is for free. With the freemium business model, you are giving away part of your products or services for free and charging for premium features or services. Another example of a freemium model is LinkedIn. LinkedIn runs a freemium and premium model. What do I mean? LinkedIn, you can easily onboard, start networking and all of that. But if you want curated special services on LinkedIn, you have to subscribe for their premium. So they run both freemium and subscription. But primarily their model is freemium. Because even through their freemium, they do advertisements. And so a business can have different business models. A good example is LinkedIn. LinkedIn does freemium, gives part of its services for free. They also do subscription. You subscribe for their premium services, premium plan, right? They also do advertisements, whereby recruiters can advertise their job, and you pay for advertisements for job. You pay for the product you're going to use to set up the job, and pay for advertisements for that. So LinkedIn is basically using 3 business models: subscription, freemium, and advertising. So as a business, you may not be solely restricted to just one business model. You can have 4 business models. That gives you opportunity for more revenue. Another type of business that we have is advertising, which is something that Facebook leverages on. Facebook, Instagram, they are heavy on advertising. Just to run an ad in a day on Facebook, you know how much you're going to pay. I'm not just running it in a day. Sometimes Facebook charges you with the number of targets. If you want to reach 5,000 people, it has its own fee. If you want to reach 20,000 people, it has its own fee. The duration with which you want your adverts to run, it has its own fee. So Facebook runs advertising, and this involves creating content that people want to read or watch, and then displaying advertising to your readers or viewers. Another model that is also common is a franchising business model. This is something that is common with the fast food industries like Mr. Biggs. And in franchise business model, you are selling the recipe for starting and running a successful business to someone else. So I want to start a fast food restaurant. Instead of starting Genesis Foods and start building the business from scratch and trying to gain market share, awareness, prominence, I can basically leverage on what Mr. Biggs have done I approach Mr. Biggs and tell them, okay, I want to start a fast food. Mr. Biggs will say, okay, we're going to give you a recipe and everything, but provided that the name of the company is Mr. Biggs. I say, okay, I'll accept. I'm making my money, right? I've paid Mr. Biggs for the franchising, right? And then I'm making my money. The money, daily sales is going to me. I'm managing the business myself, but the name is Mr. Biggs, but I'm managing it myself. So franchising is also an example of a common business model that we have. So these are like the top 5 business models we have. There's several of them, as I've mentioned in the previous slides, right? We have several business model that we have today. So we look at a tool that we use to develop or create business model. It's called Business Model Canvas. BMC is a popular universal tool that is used to create business model. The business model is a great tool to help you understand a business model in a straightforward, structured way. Using the business model canvas will lead to insights about the customer you want to serve, what value propositions are offered through their channels, how your company makes money, and you can also use the business model canvas to understand how your own business model or that of your customer. A business model canvas has 9 pillars, which is 9 building blocks, right? How do we now prepare a business model canvas? You prepare it by, first of all, identifying your specific audience, which is your customer, and your user persona will help you to achieve this. Establishing your business process, which is what are the key activities that are required for your business to function. Then identify the key resources. What resources will your business hold? What does your company need to carry out daily? What does your company need for it to carry out its daily processes, find new customers, and reach business goals? And then you develop a strong value proposition. For business model to thrive, your value proposition needs to be accurate because your customers are paying for your value proposition. And how do you understand the best value proposition for your customer? It is for you to understand what your customer goals, motivations, and frustrations are. If you're able to understand your customer goals, your customer motivation, and your customers' frustrations, you can then develop an accurate value proposition. And that is how your user persona will help you to unlock a useful business model. When you've been able to develop a strong value proposition, you then identify your key partners. Who are you going to be partnering with? Can you do this alone? Isana wants to start a tech hub. If you want to do it alone, or you want to partner with people that you know that can help you drive in customer, you can't go and start building your own internet service provider company. You have to partner with probably MTN or Glo or fiber optics or whatever to provide you data services. In terms of power, you want to partner with a solar company to help set up a solar system for you, or you want to buy a generator to use the generator. In terms of facility, do you want to rent a space, and you want to rent a property and use it for that, or you want to buy a land and build? So you need to understand who are my key business partners. Then you develop a demand channel. Like, through what channel will your customer demand for your product, reach your products, get across to you? So let's look at the business model canvas template. It basically has a template. So for a business model canvas, it has 9 pillars, as I've said, 9 building blocks. Number 1 is the customer segments, which helps you to understand your target audience. So what segments are they? Okay, I want to do a tech hub for Obed. He said he wants to do a tech hub, right? So what are your customer segments? One, your customer segment will be probably people, number 1 customer segment will be those who are working remotely. They're number 1 customer segment. Number 2 customer segment could also be those that want to start up a business. those that have entrepreneurs that have business ideas, but needs a co-working space to ideate to conceptualize their ideas. Your number three, this thing, what they call your number three customer segments or target audience could also be people who want good internet service to do other things. They want good internet service and they want comfort and serene environment to work and think. So understanding your customer segments is very key. And that is the very first thing you do. Your customer segments. After your customer segment, you define your value proposition. What core value do you want to deliver to your customer? Which customer needs are you satisfying? And then you talk about your customer relationship. What relationship that the target customer expects you to establish? What kind of relationship do you want to have with your customer as a business? How can you integrate that into your business in terms of cost and format? Then you talk about the channels, which is your demand channel. Through what channel are you going to deliver your services? For Uptrust, our demand channel is online, virtual. But for Obey that wants to set up a tech hub, you can't set up a tech hub virtually. It has to be on premises. So through what is your demand channel? Which channels work best? How much does your channel cost? And how can they be integrated into your customer's routine? Do you want to set up a tech hub whereby the location of the tech hub is far away from where your customers are? Right? And then you look at your revenue streams. For what value are your customers willing to pay in your value proposition? What and how do they currently pay for that? And how would they prefer to pay? So you can look at it that, okay, I want to charge people for my tech hub, right? And I say, okay, on the average, how much will somebody working from home, right, pay for internet services? If you have to work 8 hours or 5 hours in a day, how much data can you consume in a day and in a month? Let's say in a month, you can consume averagely 20 gig or 50 gig or 70 gig or even more. So if someone can consume 20 gig in a month, you write it down. How much power can someone consume running generator? Or sorry, how much power in terms of cost of power? How much cost of power will someone consume or incur working 5 hours a day in a month without interruption? So maybe the person will need to buy fuel of 1,000 naira every day. Yeah, fuel of 1,000 naira every day is about, should I say, now fuel is 180/164. So 1,000 naira should be probably 16 liters or thereabouts or less, if I'm not wrong. Right? No, it should be less than 16 liters. That should be roughly 8 liters, right? Roughly 8 liters or thereabouts. 8 liters or thereabouts, yeah. 8 to 7 liters. So that means someone will most likely consume 10 liters in a day. And if 10 liters is around 1.5, right? 10 liters is 10 liters is around 1,800. Yeah. 10 liters is around 1,800. So customer will ideally consume really pay 1,800 naira per day to have at least 5 hours constant electricity without interruption, right? And then the data they will purchase per day might just be probably 500 naira per day. So they have 1,008 and then 500 naira. That is around 2,000 something, right? They might be incurring in terms of cost of working from their home without power interruption and steady internet connection. Roughly 2,500 or 2,700. You can sum it up to 3,000 naira or 2,500 as the case may be. That can then advise you. Do I want to put some other things into consideration? Of course, you have to. because you are providing them comfort in a serene environment. You have to charge for the cost of comfort. You place a value to that. You could place maybe 2,000 naira for the cost of comfort. You have to charge for the cost of rent, right? You could charge maybe 1,000 naira per customer for the cost of rent. That's in a day. So we have 2,005 plus 1,000 naira for comfort, 3,500, plus 1,000 naira for you're charging as cost of rent that you are incurring as a own business, which is 4,500, right? Then you are paying salaries to your employers, people like cleaners, receptionists, marketers that are helping to market. You can also charge 1,500 for that on each customer head, right? So that could be probably or you could charge additional 500 naira on each customer head, or 1,500 if you want. So 4,500 plus 1,500, that is 6,000 naira, right? And then you might now say, okay, let me just charge 1,000 naira as a profit on that customer. So 6,000 naira plus 1,000 naira, that is 7,000 naira. So you might say, okay, if a customer wants to use my services in a day, I want to charge them roughly 7,000 naira per day to use my service. Then instead of you saying you want to charge per day 7,000 naira, that might look so big for them. You can put that cost in a week and put that cost in a month. So you can now say, okay, my plans are, these are my plans. Classic, maybe for classic plans, there is no AC, or there might be AC. Of course, there should be AC. Maybe for classic plans, it might just be restricted to just a table and a chair, no conference room. For gold plans, so for classic plans, you can charge probably 5,000 naira a day. Then in a week, you can charge maybe, you can say you're charging 15,000 naira per week. And in a month, you're charging like 60,000 naira per month per customer to use your services. So that is what they're paying for. So in a month, it could be 60,000 naira per month per customer for classic. For gold plan, which is you have access to whiteboard, you have access to maybe a bandwidth that can accommodate 3 members of a team, you can charge 80,000 naira per month. Then for premium plan, whereby the customer is going to have access to a conference room, whiteboard, a TV, and a projector, you can charge for 100,000 naira per month. So in that way, that will help you to accommodate to understand what your pricing fee. So how do customers currently pay for what they are doing now that you want to deliver or ease them from? And how much does every revenue stream contribute to your own overall revenue? So if you have invested 10 million naira in setting up the tech hub, and then you say, I want to make a revenue of monthly, or should I say yearly, by maybe this year, you want to use within 2 months to set up the tech hub, or 3 months, and you invested 10 million naira to set it up. And you say, you did the next 1 year, I want to make a revenue of 60 million naira. That will help you to also channel through how you need to position your pricing, right? Then we have the key partners. Who are you going to be partnering with? As I made mention, you need internet services, so you have to partner with an internet service provider so as to get a cheaper rate, right? You most likely need to partner with some people, right? If you also want to do an incubation, you have to partner with people that are skilled in that area, right? Then what are your key activities? What will you be doing as a business? What are your day-to-day processes? What key activities does your value proposition require? What activities are important the most in distribution channels for customers, relationship, and revenue stream? So what are your key activities? Ensuring that your the generator does not run out of power, right? Ensuring that all of your infrastructure, that is your AC, your table, your desk, are in good and working condition. Ensuring that the environment is secure, right? ensuring that so many things. So what are your key activities? Then what are your key resources, your chairs, your infrastructures, and what have you? Then what are the cost structure? So what is the cost of partnership, cost of your business activities? What are the cost of your resources? So what are the most costs in your business? Which key resources activities are most expensive? You capture all of those here. So let's take a sample of business model canvas that we have. So let's take a look at LinkedIn business model canvas. For LinkedIn, their customer segments are professional users like you and I, recruiters who wants to post jobs on the platform, advertisers and marketers, then third-party developers. For their value proposition, for professionals like you and I that wants to use LinkedIn, the value proposition that LinkedIn is offering us is to build new contacts or network, to build our own brand. There's some people when you go to their LinkedIn profile like this, you start imagining, where can I reach this level? This person has, this guy has achieved a lot. This lady has achieved a lot. But you might be surprised that by the time you interview that person or you even reach out to that person, the person might even be struggling. So people use LinkedIn as a means of branding themselves, right? Another value proposition that LinkedIn offered, but now they sell off this particular piece, is SlideShare. SlideShare is where you go to get, it's like the knowledge base of LinkedIn, where you get information, but I think they've sold off SlideShare. So LinkedIn no longer owns SlideShare, I guess, from the last time I checked last month. Now, for recruiters, what are the value propositions that LinkedIn are offering recruiters? Effective tools for marketing their jobs, resumes with references. You don't need to, unlike when you post job on maybe JobMark or JobServe, and then you need to start scrolling through CVs and all of that. With LinkedIn, you can easily sort out your candidates. It's very convenient for you. So I can set up a job ad on LinkedIn, and I'll give LinkedIn instruction that I only want that, yes, so let people apply. But when a candidate apply, help me do a first level sorting of that candidate. That means if the candidate does not meet this criteria, don't show that candidate to me to review. So you have that effective tool to review and make decisions about candidates you are recruiting. Then we have for third-party developers, providing them with APIs for integration and supporting the customers. For customer relationship, LinkedIn leverages on their direct network effects and indirect network effects. For channels, people make use of LinkedIn through the LinkedIn self-service platform and offline field-based sales. For revenue streams on LinkedIn, LinkedIn have their talent solution, their marketing solutions, and their premium subscriptions. So their talent solution, they charge a fee for that. Marketing solution that marketers used to advertise their products and services, they charge for that. And then premium subscriptions, customers like you and I pay for that. Who are the key partners of LinkedIn? We have companies partnering with LinkedIn, universities partnering with LinkedIn to generate courses on LinkedIn Learn, content providers like you and I, influencers, marketing and sales application providers. Key activities of LinkedIn, what LinkedIn is concerned about, is to develop their platform. So platform development is a key activity for LinkedIn. Hiring and retaining their staff is a key activity for LinkedIn. Protecting their intellectual property and also protecting the customer is also a key activity for LinkedIn. Some of the key resources of LinkedIn is their platform, which is their solution, and also their network. The cost structure, what are the things that is going to incur costs for LinkedIn? Product development, developing at their platform, sales and marketing, general and administrative costs, cost of revenue, and depreciation costs. Taking a look at another business, which is Uber, their business model canvas. For Uber, their customer segments are passengers and drivers. And for value proposition for the drivers, their customer segment, their value proposition is the ease of getting started. It's very easy for you to get started as a driver. Opportunity to earn, ease in accessing more passengers, and freedom to choose your hours to work. For riders, the value proposition for riders is basically safety and security, chance to avail services with lower price than the normal taxi services, convenience with easier transaction. For normal yellow taxis, I'm sure you can in Lagos here, you can't go from one destination. They can't charge you anything less than 2,000 from one destination to another destination, no matter how the distance. The minimum they can charge you is 2,000 naira. But for LinkedIn, you can even get a ride of 1,500. You can get a ride of 800 naira. You can get a ride of 1,200, 1,800, and then so on and so forth. For the riders, which is the passengers, the value proposition. Okay, I've talked about that. Yeah. So, what are the customer relationships for Uber? We have general public. They relate to their customers through the general public. They have regulators that they use, that they relate with as well. For their channels, you have word of mouth, social media, vouchers, and then the app that they use. For revenue streams, we have ride transaction fee. So Uber can be seen as a marketplace, right? That brings the passenger and the rider together. So they charge a transaction fee. They also charge a license fee, and they have their Uber Eats. Now, what are the key activities of Uber? Platform development, marketing, sales and promotion, communication with driver, customers, and partners. Their key partners are investors, drivers, lobbyists, and other partners. Their key resources are their network of drivers and riders, their platform, which is their app, technology talents, and brand image. Cost structure, we have customer acquisition cost, legal and settlement costs, insurance costs, research and development costs, lobbying and compliance, platform maintenance, infrastructure costs, customer support. Because they are in a very risky business, so they have to ensure that they cater for insurance of vehicles. Now, the last one we'll be looking at is Airbnb. That's the last business model we'll be looking at, is that of Airbnb. For Airbnb, there are two customer segments. It's basically the host and the guest. The host is the one who owns the property. The guest is one who wants to use it. And for Airbnb, it's basically a marketplace to bring together the host and the guest. For Uber, you can't see a car. Like, you can't see a car that they write Uber on it. Uber don't have a car, but they have a platform. But today, customer recognize the drivers as Uber drivers. So they bring that platform. They build that platform to bring the seller and the rider. The seller is the driver. The buyer is the rider. For Airbnb, the seller is the host. The buyer is the guest. Marketplace. So the value proposition for Uber, for the host, for Airbnb host, is simple and secure way to publish apartments. Also, an avenue for them to make extra money. You are a young guy living in a 2-bedroom flat, and you're not using one of the 2 rooms. You're only staying in 1 room in the 2-bedroom flat. You can lease out the other one. You can shortlet it. Another value proposition is to have full control of who comes to your house, to know them. Also, communication. For the guests, is for you to save your money. Instead of you going to lodge in a hotel that is expensive, you can get a shortlet home on Airbnb. Easy to browse and easy to book. Spacious property, amenities, and all of that. For the customer relationship, we have their self-service platform and their customer service support. For channels, we have the Airbnb platform, both their website and their app. Platforms like their content marketing, media coverage, digital ad campaign. For their revenue streams, they have their host fee, which ranges from 3.5%. So Airbnb charges 3.5% on the fee that the host has attached to their property. So if the host says that their property is, they want to lease out this room or lease out this property for a period of 2 weeks for, let's say, 800,000 naira or 60,000 naira, right? Or maybe 60,000 naira per day, because that last time I checked, which was in 2019, they do 60,000 naira per day. right? Or 80,000 naira per day. So they want to list it for 80,000 naira per day. Airbnb will charge 3.5% of that from the host. So 3.5% of that could be an additional cost that Airbnb will put and then display the ad to the guests. So for travelers fee, it ranges from 0 to 20%. Now, for key activities for Airbnb, you have platform development, sales and marketing, managing behaviors. For key resources, Airbnb, Plasma and Mobile, their employees. For their key partners, they have the hosts, they have investors, insurance companies, professional photographer services. For their cost structure, we have the platform development and maintenance cost, cost of capital, insurance cost, legal and administrative costs, employee salary, cost of acquisition, sales and marketing costs, and also regulatory costs. So this is just brings us to the end of the session on business modeling and looking at business model canvas. I don't know if you have any question so that we can wrap up the class for today. Do we have any question?
No, I mean, I'm fine.
Okay, you understand it very
Yes.
well, 100%.
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah, until we see our project, we're going to be able to connect some of those things.
Okay,
That's
great.
it. Yeah.
All right, great. So I'll stop recording now. So that basically brings us to the end of the class for